The infected have smelled out your blood, and death is near. The question is, how near? And how many tormented souls you choose to leave behind for the rest of mankind. The deranged are about to attack.
Alright, I'm back. Hello. Mic was off for like a minute. I wasn't able to play yesterday because I woke up extremely late. I woke up at about 6 p.m. and I wasted my entire introduction joke because of that nonsense, as in having the microphone off. But I'm back. Not much has happened. I finished my Evil Within game, praise be, as this dude carries the entire round. A video popped into my recommended. It was another I just finished The Last of Us Part 2 video. And I think that's what the exact title of it was. It was like, I just finished The Last of Us Part 2. I have to watch my volume. It is very early. It's about 5. And so the guy, I won't give details, even though it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like I'm a big person that'll send an army or something. It was a video in favor of the game, about 20 minutes. And it's been about a year, right? A lot of stuff has happened. I played that game myself. Bought an entire PS4 for it. Bought the PS4 full price. Nothing's changed. And whenever I see a video in favor of the game, there's like this uncontrollable cringe that I have hearing the romanticized drivel coming out of people's mouths talking about the game and its many quote-unquote accomplishments. As you can tell by just how I'm talking about it, I am still incredibly negative about the experience, and I do feel like my money and time was completely wasted, and the game is objectively just atrocious. But I disagree with that video from a place of respect. I am a victim, ultimately. I am a victim of not listening. I should have heeded the advice of my peers. What knocked me over there? I should have heeded the advice and just watched reviews or something instead of spending money. But I've watched the video. Is there anything else I could say about it? Thing is, we all like or dislike the game for the same reasons, which is another reason why I think the many arguments about it are just weird. Not the opinions, mind you. The opinions and arguments are different. You can like it or dislike it, and there doesn't have to be a scuffle about that. But the whole like trying to change people's minds about it, that's what I think is a bit stupid. And if it sounded like I once said that in my videos many months ago, after I freshly came off that game, then I apologize. I shouldn't have done that intentionally, but I don't think I did. Because that's just something that you shouldn't bother trying to do. You can't expect to change people's minds about something as trivial as a game they spent hard-earned cash on and either disliked or enjoyed. And because as said, there's not much to differ from both sides. If you dislike it, I can assume pretty much every reason why you would dislike it, and vice versa goes for if you like it. And yet still, with those sentiments laid out, I still can't sympathize, man. The only way I can sympathize is looking at it from a monetary investment perspective, in the sense of I wouldn't want to admit that I've wasted cash, as that's ultimately what did happen with that game, with my experience. It's weird, because ultimately, I guess, like how I say it from an objective standpoint, the game is whack. You could flip that on its head and say that I'm ultimately wrong, because guess what's the most awarded game of all time?
The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh my goodness, I must have got hit by a spitter. What's it called? Yeah, ultimately that game won all the accolades, and it wasn't even a contest. That thing swept, cleaned up house, overtook The Witcher 3, overtook its first game. I'm on the other side, homie. You gotta jump over the gate. Big ups, big ups. Yeah, ultimately, that game in no time at all just became king, queen, kingpin of everything. That's going over. That's combining its narrative, its looks, themes, gameplay, and how it all coagulates and comes together. And that game just it won everything. It was game of the everything, as Anthony Caliber graciously puts it. But I don't feel like I don't feel like I've missed anything that other people got. I've noticed I very quickly repeat myself because, mind you, videos like this, I never have a script for them. Videos I have a script, usually you can tell, because it's just me sitting there. When I'm playing a game, you can assume I don't have a script because I don't have editing software, so I can't, like, you know, commentate over recorded footage. I have to do it all in one take. But it is very weird seeing videos like that still come out, because it's been almost an entire year. I think the game came out, what, around the summertime? I know it came out once COVID became a big thing, and, you know, many unfortunate souls like myself weren't allowed to enjoy their final years in typical primary school, as in high school, middle school, elementary. For me, my final months of senior year high school, a proud graduate. And the game's approaching a year, and a lot of discourse has happened between that time, and to see that videos are still coming out. Ones like the one that I just watched, which came out, I believe, yesterday. And heck, a video that I'm making today, responding to it, I think just does go to show the power. The game, well, there are many things that I'll say about it that sound more positive than my many negatives, and one thing I will say is that game is very, very powerful. Be it in a good way or a bad way, I couldn't tell you, but the fact that people still talk about it from both sides of the equation should tell you something, without a doubt. Like, Neil did do a good job of making a game that people will freaking talk about. Cannot disagree there. It's such a weird game. It's such a funny game, unintentionally. A game is unintentionally hilarious. I think that's part of why I get that cringe that I spoke of earlier when I hear people sucking off the game, because it's like I just wish I could be in the room with someone playing that game that honestly views it in such high regards. I kind of wish that the game came out before all the COVID nonsense, so before I lost all connection with my school friends, I could talk with some of my PlayStation school friends about it, because no doubt some of them would play it, and I would have loved to have some enriching conversations with actual friends of mine that disagree, because frankly, all the friends I have, we all have the same opinion of the game. It's either don't care about it or trash, and I wish I didn't waste 20-something hours watching a playthrough of it for them. Because obviously I'm the only idiot that spent money to play it. It's a weird thing. Because as I said earlier, I understand and don't. Such a weird game. I don't want to hammer on the point too much because I've repeated myself several times already. Ultimately, nothing has changed regarding The Last of Us Part 2. Give me my money back, Neil, and my time. Although it was all on me. He made the best game ever created objectively, he reaps all the rewards. I do feel bad for his wife and daughter, though. What else has happened? Not much. Not much at all. I've been recreating Red Dead Redemption 1 outfits for John in RDR2. I want to see if I can make those in online as well. I only have one character, it is a lady. So I wonder how those will look. So far, the outfits I've created are the best one, in my opinion, is the elegant suit. I think that one looks absolutely incredible. I didn't realize you could get a tie, normally. I'm not someone who customizes characters ever, be it characters you can create or custom preset characters, like Arthur and John. Character creation has just never been a thing for me. Facial construction, dressing them up cool, nah, it's never been my forte. I don't know why either, it's just, I don't know. my creative energy is very on and off. For some things, I can actually have some ideas. Execution is a different thing. And then other times, as in most of the time, it's just, nah. There's not much, there ain't much there. But actually, making those outfits has been it's been a lot of fun. Funnily enough, RDR2 is a game in the online section now, I have been trying to carefully curate my character, because one thing that has bugged me is in customization, in fashion of your character, or I don't know, stuff that you can wear, equipment, whatever. Looks are important to me to an extent. One thing that I don't like is looking like everyone else in certain things. Like in some games like Fortnite, I don't care. I will just wear whatever is a good-looking skin. But then in other games, I said, I'm very wishy-washy with how I do things. I'm a weird person in that aspect. Wow, double KO. Dutch has got some big arms. Yeah, one thing I don't like in a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 Online is looking like everyone else. In that game, people have... You could count. You'll see certain horse breeds several times. People's horses usually look almost identical. They all usually have a braided tail, a mask, basically everything equipped. And their outfits, they all look like Victorian cryptozoologist hunters. They all look like monster hunters. They have these bandoliers, bullets all over them, multiple belts. They look like Templars from Assassin's Creed. They look hilarious, and it's a preset outfit too. It's not even something that these people made with brain power and actual thought. No, it's just something that the game provided to them because they played as a bounty hunter a lot. Oh shoot. Help that dude out. Be a team player. So I've tried a bit to make some accurate clothing to the time and the locality. My only issue is with certain nags, nag being the horse. Jack has really grown on to me calling horses nags. With certain nags, like the nags that I use, I can't store as many outfits. I think the max you can store is 5. My favorite nag at the moment can only store 3. And the game also, for both the single player and the online, has a horrific way of saving outfits. When you go to equip an outfit or something from your camp or your home or Beecher's Hope, whatever the heck, and you make one and then equip one, it then unselects it from your horse. So if you don't re-equip everything every time you touch an outfit, save one or put one on from the ones that you've created, it then deselects one. It's so weird. It has to be a glitch. That much must be true.
Double lock loaded.
It's a terrible thing. So I've been trying to seethe and cope with that, but I did not see the splash of holy water. I've been seething and coping with that. What else is there? Just trying to run around topics here. Oh yeah, I finished Evil Within, as I'm sure my many fans have seen the epic finale playthrough. Confusing game, as are all Game Pass games. I shouldn't say that because I bought that game with money, but now it's on Game Pass. Yeah, I do envy game makers in a sense, because when I was a kid, and many kids that had a similar lifestyle to me, very cozy, mostly playing video games their whole life, I'm sure when you were a child, one of your many thoughts was, I want to be a game dev when I grow up. Obviously, as you grow up and you realize the reality of it's walk or work, old man, in the sense of it's either you make games and never really end up playing them, or you play them and never really fully understand and respect the idea of making them, or you just don't have the creative talent to even potentially make a game. When I was little, the many confusing elements of games I didn't put any respect towards. Not as in disrespect, but I think appreciate is the finer word for it. I never appreciated how those confusing elements really did help to build a convincing world or just an overall more interesting story, because ultimately many stories that you play in games are pretty straightforward when you look at the broad picture of things. It's usually you're solving some mystery, saving something, trying to survive a bad situation. But that's not what makes that particular game very good. Like, think of some of your favorite games. Think of some of your favorite linear games. Genre can differ a bit, and like action, horror focus, survival horror, whatever. And just think of what really makes them good. Is it just the rough narrative that you're doing? I doubt it, because many games do share that and how simplistic they usually are, but it's many other elements that come to create such a memorable experience for you, for all of us. The characters, the world, the deep stories in them. Evil Within is a game that I probably will not understand for a while, even with research, because it has a lot of complications to it. It seems simplistic in the sense of everything is in this guy's mind, and we need to do something to stop him. It's with the brains or whatever. I mean, you're collecting brains the entire game, so when it turns sunny in this thing, it's really cool. Makes me feel accomplished. I'm gonna throw holy water over there if that dude doesn't have some. Hold on. Hope that was landed or aimed correctly. I think it could have been better, but I'll take it. It's always satisfying, even if I didn't look. That first Evil Within, I've yet to play Evil Within 2, but that will happen soon. Very good game. Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. The game. I don't think I've ever played a game with less chill than that. And I will keep saying that when I think about that game.
Alright, nobody can say you haven't gone hard.
But man, if I said I understood a lick of what the heck I played, I would be lying to you. But I think it's important to understand that just because you don't fully understand something, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that the game is pretending to be deep or something. It could just be reading between the lines. When you put any amount of thought to it, it'll make perfect sense. But if it's initially complicated and confusing, that shouldn't turn you off. I say this because when I was younger, I have missed out on, I know for a fact, I've missed out on a lot of games because I gave up on them too quickly. There were a lot of games where basically as soon as I got stuck, I stopped playing the game. Now mind you, I was a kid. You know, kids have very low attention spans. Low or little? Yeah, low. They have very low attention spans, so as soon as something stops becoming fun, I drop it. And through discourse online and seeing people talk about certain games that, I like, it seems that a lot of people still hold that sentiment. A lot of games are quickly disregarded because of, one negative thing or whatever. That really shouldn't dampen the experience that much, and not saying that they have the wrong opinion, but it's a shame when those negativities, those gripes that the people have, could have them missing out on a great experience. Matter of fact, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2. There are a lot of people that don't even see Red Dead 2 as canon, because of small gripes with it. Like its more simulation aspects, such as, feeding Arthur, bathing, to get cores and whatnot, core management, the animations and everything. And it's funny because some of those things aren't even true. Like, you don't need to eat. You don't need to ever feed your dudes. You don't need to sleep, ever. You don't need to bathe, ever. It'll just make the game more immersive and a bit more, I guess, fun, depending on your type of thing. A bit easier, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. Because, it'll help manage your cores and everything. But in reality, if you don't want to, you don't have to engage with those parts of the game. But unfortunately, because of those things' existence, and the ignorance around them, as to how important they are, a lot of people never experienced the finer things of Red Dead 2, which I'm sure fans of Red Dead Redemption 1 would really appreciate. And there are other aspects, there are other gripes that people have. Like, a lot of people don't like how John was presented in this game. They feel like his character was destroyed, and how the things he said in Red Dead 2 made him seem more akin to what Arthur was, as in doing things for the gang, and they don't like how, he had to be saved 8,000 times in the main campaign and whatnot. But those are different things that would require an actual, discussion and such, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. I think the point I'm ultimately trying to make is don't let small holdups take away from what could be good experiences. Some of the best games I've ever played, some of my absolute favorites, were things that I put off for a long time. Telltale's Walking Dead, first game to ever make me cry. Game most of my favorite games are many years old that I have been extremely late to playing because I actively avoided them in my youth. Because I just didn't seem like they were my type, or I tried them initially and I wasn't very interested. That's okay. That's how it goes. You get older, things change. And I'm glad that I've changed in that aspect, because there are so many great games that I would never have experienced if I stayed stubborn on the subject. For example, the game I'm playing right now. This game is approaching 11 years of age. This game came out in 2010, and I am still playing it. Still loving it. I like its campaign more than its prequel game. And I am 10 years late to this. I can't say this game has nostalgia factor for me, like it was from my childhood or anything. I just randomly said, you know what, let me play these games. And now, easily one of my favorites. This game, Red Dead Redemption 1, it's the second game to make me cry. Spoiler alert, the ending, when John gets guided, that effed me up. That freaking destroyed me. So this is now the second game to catch me lacking. 10 years late. Don't let that time, don't let that gap pull you away from the experiences. Don't let graphics and small hindrances like, oh, maybe the gameplay's a bit dated. Don't let that stop you from engaging in these classics. Mass Effect, that's another one. I played all 3 Mass Effect games, and now I'm playing Andromeda. The trilogy is pretty old games, and I played them in order. Mass Effect 1 has some horrendous and very, very dated mechanics. Let's not talk about that Mako, among other things. And yet still, that was an incredible trilogy. Wow, nice freaking toss. Games I immediately want to play again. Decade old, outdated in many instances. To many people, they'd say they're freaking hideous and butt ugly. Instant classic for me. Oh my goodness. And now, in my spare time, I can engage in an entirely different fantasy universe of Mass Effect. A very entertaining one at that. I do have many regrets in my gaming career. And through time, I've been trying to remedy them. I think I've been doing a good job thus far, with the limited options that I have. No computer, amongst many things. But other than that, I don't really have much else to go with. As said, unscripted. Don't want to talk about The Last of Us Part 2 that much. I've said what I've said about that game. But it is interesting to see videos still pop up. There's another one, actually. So this one that was positive was 20 minutes, and it came out yesterday. Another game, funnily enough, another video came out called Desecrating a Grave, again, or something like that, about The Last of Us Part 2, and it's 50 minutes long. For some reason, I feel like I'm going to like that one a lot more than the 20-minute one. So I'll definitely watch that probably after this Undead Overrun session, which is looking to be the best one I've had thus far. I mean, me and Mr. Kelly here from Revolver are doing a stellar job. Revolver is another game I'd like to play if I ever get the chance. Is that guy not going to get affected by bait? Thank you. Oh, shoot. Did I open it? Wow, just opened it. I am surprised I got to get out there with my life. Oh, maybe not. Dutch, get up. Thank you. Ow, you shoot me. Made it out there with my life. Yeah, Red Dead Revolver is another game I would like to play. If I ever get the chance. It's an old one. What did I just get? Bolt action? Semi-auto shotgun. Well, that's not going to replace my sawed-off. The sawed-off's too thug.
You really don't want to die, do you?
You know, funnily enough, despite Red Dead Redemption, the franchise, instantly becoming one of my favorites ever, I don't actually know much about the era. If you can believe it or not, I can't think of any Western movies I've ever watched. Now, I know a bunch by name, and their directors and such, but I couldn't tell you any references or any real history about it that I know of. My dad's a lot more well-versed in that than me. Legit, most of my knowledge is from the 2 Red Dead Redemption games, and that's about it. Just something minor. Thought it'd be funny to bring up. Whose turn is it to grab one? You need one? Okay, he doesn't seem to want it.
You have slugs.
You hesitated too much. I'm sorry.
So maybe that's another thing I can do in my spare time. I do need to catch up on some stuff, you know. God, I do things so terribly. Like, something you might not know is I have a very, very redundant life. It's pretty much all just video games. I can't think of a cartoon series I've ever finished watching. And it's not like I never watched cartoons. I watched Adventure Time, SpongeBob like every other human being, Danny Phantom, Johnny Test, Regular Show, Uncle Grandpa, you already know, it's the gamer tag. And a lot of others, but I've never finished them or anything, because ultimately games are what's taken up most of my time. Movies, books, I used to be quite a book reader. I do have some books I am proud of. Like some from notable actors, like the original Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen. He made a book called The Chainsaw Confidential. I would recommend getting that from Amazon and reading it. Yeah, movies and TV shows and cartoons or whatever, I'm not that well versed in that. I just know games and play games. It's kinda... It does make me a bit sad reflecting on it. As in my opinion, that is the opposite of interesting. But with that, I've tried to avoid putting that horrible burden on other people. I have a friend, I won't name drop him, but he knows who he is, and good lord, dude. Despite doing nothing but play games, the last thing I want is to hear people talk about games non-stop. Especially in a place like school. Like, I like to play games when I'm sitting on my bed or chair and my Xbox is in the room. When I'm doing literally anything else, I would rather not discuss them. Depending on what we're doing, I'd rather not think about them. Okay, I don't know why that's still giving me a lock on. I'm over here leaving Mr. Kelly because I'm interested in a potential glitch. Like, that to me is just cringe and unnecessary, and I think they're doing more damage now. Look at that, this dude's eating headshots. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if they're actually surviving headshots.
How are you?
Not sure.
Still alive.
It's really hard to hit the heads, but those are 2 one-shots, so I think headshots still do work. It's hard to get headshots with the sawed-off shotgun, though. I could use other weapons. I have 2 or 3 other weapons, and I just haven't used them. I like the sawed-off too much. Oh, shoot! Yeah, the last thing I want to do is burden people with video games all the dang time. I try to be very aware of the room. I do think that is a skill I have, reading the room. Oh wow, that looks good.
A new weapon is available.
Is he taking that? Alright.
Double lock buck loaded.
Get mine there. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock. What was I saying? What was I saying? I got really distracted by the way we both pulled up to the coffin, torches in our hands. Oh yeah, reading the room. I'm kind of just padding for the time that I have because I definitely do not expect to have such long and successful runs of Undead Overrun, but at the same time, I don't want to just linger in silence. There are some games that I would gladly shut my mouth for and... Oh my god, just... Oh, shoot! And just leave no commentary for, but something like this, I mean, if I can kill the time, I'll go for it. Is there any drama that I can think of? Nah, not really. No cancellations, no noteworthy ones at least. I think that dude threw holy water. You know, the holy water lightning strike should revive teammates in my opinion. We have a lot of time. Wow. I think it's because we've been blazing through the rounds.
I'll never know.
Yeah, that's about the sit rep. I have other games on my catalog. I gotta watch my volume, so I'm sorry if I get uncomfortably low. The next thing I'm gonna do is I need to finish Andromeda. Oh, what the heck? That is 100% the next thing I need to do. I can't keep putting off stuff. I'm glad I got Evil Within done, because now it's pretty much Andromeda, Nier Automata. I keep delaying that one despite my voice singing its praises.
You have slugs.
And the fact that I've started the second playthrough a while ago, because that game, its specialty comes from the fact that it's like multiple games in one. In subsequent playthroughs, things are heavily changed. The narrative, the character you're playing as, it's a very interesting thing. I can't say I've ever seen a game do something like that. My highest solo round on Keynote or Toten's 32. Quite proud of that. I'll never forget it. When I was way younger, my highest was 24. And I held that up in very high regards when discussing things with me, myself, and I, and no one else. And then when I retried it recently as in maybe a few years ago, last time I played Black Ops 1, got up 32. I was quite proud of that. Kino is and will always be the best Call of Duty Zombies map. I could never get into it after 2. I know that sounds incredibly petty, but that's the truth of it, unfortunately. As soon as, like, Transit and beyond, nope, not for me. I am incredibly boomer when it comes to the zombie mode in Call of Duty.
Brace yourselves.
Like, if it's not just a
about to unleash
fair, decent-sized map where I will be running in continuous circles and just doing the same thing as it gets progressively harder, I am not interested enough. Sorry, not sorry.
double out bug loaded.
I know that's, as said, incredibly boomer, because I know people love Transit. Like, even, you know, it's funny, all the Black Ops 1, I think I've played every single DLC one, and I like all of them except for Moon. I think Moon is actually when the problem started arising, where things got too obnoxious for me. Yeah, it was Moon. Like, I've never fully explored the Moon map and all it has to offer, but all the other ones I love. Ascension, that's top 3 easily. My top 3 is Keynote or Toten, Call of the Dead, I think that's the name of it, it's the one with George Romero. That one. And then Ascension. Those would be my top 3 zombie maps. You know, I've always thought of doing tier lists and such, but never gotten around to doing that. Which is weird because I like those videos and I like the discussions they bring up. I know people see tier lists as just, you know, a fad that is slowly fading away, but I think they're a pretty good style of video. I think they can lead to very good discussions about things.
Nobody can say you haven't got heart.
The most unorthodox things too, like cereals and snacks. Heck, toothpaste. Is there a toothpaste tier list? Someone should do that. I'm sure there are toothpaste tier lists. If there are toothpaste. If there are tier lists about Doritos flavors and whatnot, there has to be ones about toothpaste, and maybe it's about toothpaste flavors, not just the quality and everything. Because ultimately, they all kill 99.99% of germs. I feel bad for people that bought this game on disc. I hear there's a game-breaking glitch in Undead Nightmare. I don't know if that extends to this Undead Overrun mode, where the zombies are headless. And a headless zombie is a zombie you can't kill. You know? It almost sounds like parody how silly that is. A headless zombie. That's like in Spooky's House of Jump Scares, when you get unlimited stamina. Meaning, you can't sprint.
Slugs loaded.
I think I threw that too late. Get up, Dutch. Not give up, Dutch. Get up, Dutch.
You have phosphorus loaded.
Nice. What else? Black Ops Zombies maps. Did I mention that about a month ago I plugged up the 360 and I played the heck out of Naughty Bear? I got every achievement possible with the exception of one multiplayer achievement. It felt real good. It felt like visiting family. After many years, it just felt real nice. Real freaking good. I didn't play the sequel, Panic in Paradise, because it cost money, and I just didn't. That's really the only reason. It's just that I didn't already have it, because it's an only digital game. I have the original Naughty Bear Gold Edition on disc.
How are you still alive?
But it felt real nice. I think next time I get it on 360, I might fork up $15, $10 and get that one as well. Offers a lot less in achievements though, which is unfortunate. For some reason they downgraded a lot of things in that game, including achievements. You can only get up to 400, which is just... what? That's weird and stupid. Because the original Naughty Bear you can get well above 1,000. You can get 1,250. Oops, I need to pay attention. We are doing a stellar job.
Get ready for an onslaught of horrifying proportions.
Well, come and get it, man. I'll make you so sorry. Come closer. I got a surprise for you.
Double on button loaded.
That's multiple dynamites. I got cooked. The fat one blocked my dynamite. What else is there? How many times have I said that now? Ooh, almost had a giant rock of a booger come out my nose. Look, no shame. Just don't eat them. Heck, you can pick your nose with your fingers if you want. Just don't eat them, please. That's what I'll never understand. I think there are simple principles in life we should all follow. One of them being, if it comes from inside you, don't eat it. That's not too hard to follow, right? And understand. And it goes to both genders. Both the boys and the girls. That applies to. Don't eat or drink whatever comes from inside you. Or each other. You doesn't just extend to your physical person, it talks about other people as well. Because, man, the things I have seen and heard, no thank you. And you can live life without knowing certain things, you know? I like this dude, he's fun.
Brace yourselves. They are about to unleash hell.
This time, I'll make sure you're dead. Lazy, or I'll show you what
Oh my god, do I have water? I do. I'm gonna wait. I'm tossing it now. That's gonna be a big one. Oh yes. Oh yes, that was worth everything. We are slowly but surely losing time. I remember we were at 6 minutes. We're about to be down to 4 minutes. But this is easily my best Undead Overrun thus far. This would be a long video to download. One thing I really would like to do, kind of going back to that Last of Us 2 video I was talking about, is I would like to make videos akin to that. Talking about games that you like, talking about games that you love is a very good feeling. In the few instances I've had to do that, it is one of the best feelings in my opinion. To just go on a long tangent about something that has brought you such positivity. And that goes for anything. Any form of media, any person that means a lot to you, anything good. To spread that goodness feels great. I'm pretty sure I downed him with friendly fire.
You have phosphorus.
Because I didn't see what hit him besides me. I'm gonna miss this dude. I hope I run into him the next time I play. What's funny too is I have began writing some videos on games that I like to just talk about, but I've never done anything with them, and I don't know why. Because I don't have a problem with having no software to edit or anything. It is a problem, but it's not it's not something I have a problem with. Like you've seen, I have no problem with just putting myself in front of a camera and just talking. Like, I don't need footage to distract or something, but I don't know. I don't know why I've never just... I've only done it once.
A new weapon
It was when I was done with Telltale's Walking Dead. I remember that video. I was just sitting in my bed, and I was just saying what the game did for me. But other than that one, I never did another video like that. I'd like to. And I should. It's not like I'm ever busy with things. I am one of the least occupied people on planet Earth. Any of my problems are all artificial. I stopped that eye there because I was locking onto nothing but dead things. Deader things, yes. Because I understood the great mistake I chose with my words. Oh boy, we are losing time. This dude's been carrying. He's gonna have like twice the amount of kills as me. But it ain't about points, it's about
still alive.
the fun. And if you tried. So long as you actually have made an effort. Then you can't be bothered too much. One deep sadness I do have, even if it's not very known, is I am very upset that I was not able to spend my last days of primary school normally. And because of that, I greatly and deeply miss my many friends from high school. Oh my god, that one's not respecting the bait. Okay.
Slugs loaded.
Need to toss another bait. Oh god. 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 Don't shoot me. 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 I don't know how I made it out of there alive. Like, I very often think and literally dream about my high school friends. And I have no doubt that feeling is because I was not able to spend the appropriate final days. Because I never really intended to, like, grab phone numbers or anything. I mean, for every year, every phase of school, elementary and middle school, I never like closed things with my friends. Like I never asked for phone. On the last day of school, I would treat it okay. I wouldn't go and say, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna miss you till next year" or something. I would just leave the building as fast as possible and go home. Take my 5-minute walk home, as I've never lived too far away from my schools. Convenient setting.
Nobody can say you haven't got hard.
And it was gonna be probably the same thing for high school, of course.
Loaded.
That's only thinking and talking about it. Who knows, maybe I would just spill all my feelings to each one of them on the last day of school. But I definitely am terribly burdened by this COVID thing because of that. Like if there's one thing that COVID has got me effed up over, it's that. It is definitely that. And it's just the high school friends too. Like my middle school friends, I mean I've seen one of them physically, and I've talked to one of them slightly digitally. But it's really just my high school folks. Oh my god. I can't even throw it yet. Okay, now I can throw it. Oh, and I still almost got effed up for it. He's got that one, right? Yeah, he does.
Double lock loaded.
Look at that. No kills. Oh boy, look at that sidebar. We are cutting it close. We might be able to sustain one more round, and that one round being this one. Let's see, I'm gonna try with my sawed off. Okay, they definitely are still getting affected by the headshots. It's hard to get a headshot though, because the aim system, this is crazy. It's arguably harder than against the normal living people, because the living people, they don't move as erratically. You know, in this one, their models are going all over the place if you're trying to line up an accurate headshot. And that goes for any weapon, because the weapons function pretty similarly in this game. That dude survived a headshot. You saw that. That was Deadeye. There was no mistake there. Okay, looks like we'll have at least one more round in us.
Nobody can say you haven't got hard.
Oh yeah, another thing COVID effed me up over is getting employment. So, I've never had immediate plans for college. Now, I'm not saying college is a complete write-off, but I'm not gonna lie, I've not had much interest in college for a long time. At least immediately after high school. It should always be an option. As I say, you should never speak in absolutes. You'll always go back on them. And even if you don't, you just shouldn't think in absolutes. It's not a good idea. And despite not thinking of... He's not wrong. This is definitely our last round. Despite not thinking of college immediately, one thing I did not want to do after high school was do nothing. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, nothing has been done for a long while now. That looks like a very... Oh, okay, that was bait. I thought he threw, like, holy water or something. I was gonna say, I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly, but that was misplaced. No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that felt good. That felt real nice. We might, if we sweat, and I do a good job with this phosphorus, we might scrounge out enough. I'm trying to have faith. You know who I'm playing as? How does that miss? Yeah, the lack of doing something after high school has definitely been bothering the heck out of me. Because I did not want to just sit and do nothing for what's going on an actual year now, post-high school. That's just horrible. But I am respecting this pandemic. I'm trying to limit the outdoors and company as much as possible, not visiting people and everything. Some folks are going on vacations and whatnot. I have no interest in that. Until things get better, I'm taking this quite seriously. I can only think of one time I went outside without a mask. And I rectified that by going upstairs to put one on immediately. We've got one more round, because Mr. Kelly. How many more kills do you think he'll have than me? I'm gonna guess he's gonna have 400 more kills than me. I'm not even saying that to be self-deprecative. I'm not even saying that to self-deprecate. Yeah, I'm just gonna say self-deprecate. I don't know the other forms of that word. Oh shoot.
They are about to unleash.
I'm being very real. This dude has been
The end
carrying.
is near.
I've got no doubt that if I put away the sawed-off, I can help a lot more, but I can't. It's such a fun weapon.
Double lock loaded. Time is running out.
How much bait we have? I got one. Looks like he has a plan. I'm gonna stick with him. He threw. That's not a lot of zombies. Lightning strikes into me. Yeah, this is it for us. We have lost the endurance battle. Best Undead Overrun so far, though. There are some options for employment I could have. Like, I could have some measly job in retail or something. But I just haven't pursued it. The plan was to get a trade, to just get a skill and then apply it after high school, but I just said why. Everything's been put on a halt. Even though it doesn't need to be explained.
Say you haven't got heart. Start praying for a miracle.
In case you don't know, sudden death means we're getting no more coffins, which means no more intermissions and no more ammunition. So inevitably we will run out of ammo. And with no ammo, because punches don't kill in Red Dead. That's right. In the first Red Dead Redemption, you can punch people forever and get punched forever, because punches do no damage. They just eventually knock you out, quote unquote. You just turn into a ragdoll for a couple seconds, and then you get up. I think when you're in sudden death, they get a lot tougher too. Because you can kill them here with body shots. But as you can see, it takes a lot. Look at that. There are also boundaries, so you can't just run across and be lost in them. Kinda glad we're reaching conclusion though. Oh yeah, they survived headshots. You saw that. Watch it again. Yeah, they survived headshots. Is he submitting?
Phosphorus loaded.
I'll be joining him shortly.
I might as well go to some place cinematic.
You're even weaker than I thought. Crazy? Oh, I'll show you crazy. You just keep coming. Come closer. I got a surprise for you.
Oh boy, that ammunition is not looking good. Oh shoot! Where's my thing?
Folks. Did I kill one with the dynamite? As I'm bonking their head with it?
I'm not leaving the church. That's all the ammunition. Oh, God. That was a lot of fun.
Be down and die.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting this to last so long. And it only lasted 2 minutes longer than the other one. That's crazy to think. Because it feels like we did a lot better. Which doesn't make sense because, you know, the waves have a time limit, so, you know, I won't put too much thought into it. My head will pop. I said at least he'd have at least 400 kills more than me. I was just slightly off. He almost lapped... No, he did lap me. He almost triple lapped me. Big ups to Mr. Kelly. He is an inspiration to all. Alright, that's my Undead Overrun for the day. I'm going to do something more normalized for me. Thank you for watching.